here from Gaslight Theatre to talk to you about our latest production, Company. It is a Stephen Sondheim musical, and we have a cast of 14, and we're in rehearsals right now, and we're singing and dancing our little hearts out. I'm Janet Jones. I am lucky enough to be directing this production. That's been an interesting story all in all that we might talk about. I'm also playing the part of Joanne. The part of Joanne might be familiar to some of you. One of her most famous numbers in this show is The Ladies Who Lunch, made famous by the wonderful and now deceased Elaine Stritch. And with me today, I have Daniel Johnson. Daniel Johnson's trip to the lead role has been an interesting one as well. Daniel, you want to tell us a little bit about Bobby, and then tell us a little bit how it came to be that you are playing Bobby.
Sure. Okay, well, like she said, I am playing Bobby, who is the lead of the show. For those who aren't familiar with the story of Company, it's about the single guy, Bobby. He's just had his 35th birthday, and it's a big party with all of his friends, and he has a lot of friends who all love him dearly, but every single one of his friends are married or engaged, so he doesn't, as far as we know, have any single friends. And so all of his friends are trying to, set him up with, the perfect girl for Bobby, and they're trying to, get him married, and the whole show, he's really kind of observing each and every relationship of their marriage, and he's, wondering if this is something he wants or if it's something, he doesn't want. It's really interesting what he picks up from all these different couples, because not one of them are the same. There's so much different contrast between all of them. A little bit about how I came to play Bobby. It's an interesting story because auditions for this were actually back in November,
Yes,
so ways ago, and I just walked into the audition like anyone else auditioning, sat down, read, we sang, and the cast list came out, and I had originally played one of the husbands in the play, David, and throughout, we had a couple of rehearsals, but the directors had moved off to Japan, and they said they were going to be back in April so we could continue, rehearsals, and Janet in the meantime was in charge of, singing rehearsals and stuff like that. And we still had a Bobby, but he had actually ended up moving to New York as well, but he had still planned to, come back and, still be Bobby. So we're like, okay, so we were bearing with it. And, as it went on, I forget who dropped out first.
Who we lost first,
who knew.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where the directors were unable to continue directing. I mean, who can blame them? Japan is a long ways away. You can't just, come back in the blink of an eye. So, we were lucky enough to have Janet, be gracious enough to not only, be one of the stars in it, but also take on the duty of directing. And, of course, she's no stranger to directing, but just the thought of, starring in a musical and directing at the same time,
This is the first time, and I'm thinking maybe the last time I try to do that.
So yeah, but I mean, it's been great. And then our lead, who played Bobby, he's getting some jobs in New York, and he just realized that, kind of the same thing with our directors. It's just coming back to Enid, just for that short amount of time isn't something to easily be done. And so then Janet had proposed to a couple of the younger members in the cast, saying, okay, if you want to try to audition for Bobby, it's something we might consider, because, we were thinking about a couple of other people, but, there are also, a lot of other plays going on too, so many conflicts with people. And so, I thought, I'm just going to try it. What can that hurt? And it's the most interesting audition ever, because it's like, okay, if I don't get the part of Bobby, I'm still in the show, because I still already was one of the parts in it. But I sang and I tried it, and I was completely speechless and blown away when Janet said I had the part, because just listening to the music before I was even in it, I thought, God, that Bobby would be the role of a lifetime to play someday, because I feel Bobby is one of those characters where he has something that anybody can relate to. There are bits and pieces, you know, in his life, what he's going through, that it's real. There's a lot of honest, you know, things and emotions in this play. So being handed this role, it's definitely a first for me. Actually, this is, I think, my first musical at Gaslight. I either there's either a conflict going on or there wasn't a part for me in previous plays, but this was the, I think, first musical at Gaslight I'll be doing, and there's no better way than starting out with Sondheim.
That's right. That's
I know,
right.
but yeah, it's been a crazy ride from the start, but I'm really thankful to Janet for taking that leap of faith. And
I have great confidence in you, and rehearsals are going great.
Oh,
we have a good cast, though. We really
yes,
do.
We do. There's not a weak person in there.
No. Some other members of the cast, and help me out here, Daniel, because
okay.
You know, I may leave. Just kind of going by couples. One couple is played by Rick Hill and Terry Davis Johnson. A lot of people are familiar with them. A lot of people are familiar with them from their many funerals they sing at, I have to say. But
this will be a little less depressing.
Yes. They also sing with a group that I sing with over the years called Mixed Company. So we do a lot of harmony work. They're great, steady performers. Rick owns Rick's Pharmacy, and Terry is a retired school teacher. But they work together. Then we have a couple portrayed by Carol Haygood, and the part that you had originally is now being filled by Jim Clark. Jim Clark was the last time I worked with Jim was last summer. He was in the chorus of Chicago. And Carol I've known for many, many years. So they're both of these couples, you will enjoy the comedy in them.
They're so fun.
You know, the karate and the diet issues we deal with. We deal with a little bit of investigating substances with the other couple. We have the square. Carol plays the square, as we used to say it, you know, many years ago. Then we have a couple played by Martha O'Banion and Monty Hunter. And again, this all takes place in New York. Martha, though, is the one character that obviously was not from New York originally. She's the Southern belle. And so that comes into play, some of her roots. Then the engaged couple is played by Chelsea Hunter and a new person to Gaslight, Alex Ewald. Alex works for the Enid News and Eagle, and he's a new addition to our cast. This is the first play he's done at Gaslight and at Enid, and we're really enjoying getting to know Alex and getting him into the Gaslight family there. Then, of course, you know, a single man can't contemplate marriage if he doesn't have some girlfriends.
True.
So we have three beautiful women playing his girlfriends. We have Lanita Craigie. She is a school teacher, I believe at Chisholm. Okay. Then we have Daisha Tagawa. Any of you that were lucky enough to see Chicago last summer, Daisha played Mama, and she has a killer voice, and she brings it to this show too. If you're familiar with Sondheim, she sings the number Another 100 People. It's very fast and it's very emotional. It's a great song, and Daisha just does it to perfection. And then the third girlfriend is another newcomer to Gaslight. She was seen in the symphony production of Pirates of Penzance, and that is Brianna Bull. And Brianna is a music teacher at Prairie View. And then the other cast member that I have left out, oh dear, is the one who plays my husband in the show, Gilbert Santillan. And Gilbert has been a lifesaver as well.
Oh, yes.
Because the previous directors had a plan for the musical accompaniment for this show, and they didn't share it with us. And Gilbert is a keyboard and electronic master, and he has taken through technology and keyboarding, and he has created such a rich orchestration for us to play with. It's just great. It's all come together in a very, very good way. Helping me behind the scenes, Katina Sunval is my assistant director, who I don't know what I would do without. I can't ever imagine directing without an assistant director. I tell you, that is the unsung hero of the theater, the assistant director. They get to do all those crazy things.
Get to read lines, move around furniture, man.
Yeah,
they're amazing.
Everything. They get to play all the characters that have to be absent for a night.
Yes.
So, what do you think about the dancing in the show? Have you enjoyed doing that? Have you done much dancing previous to this?
Well, throughout, middle school and high school, just little stuff, I've done, various dancing things and music things for various churches or schools or what have you. But the thing with company that's interesting is, for those that are familiar with company, it's not so much, a dance-based musical. It focuses a lot on the music itself, which is phenomenal. But there's one number in the opening of the second act, which I believe is the only full-on big dance number, and that is a dance number because the whole thing is about, it seems like 8 minutes long.
Oh, it's endless.
Yeah, but, so yeah, the other night we just had a rehearsal where we did nothing but just get that dance down, and you have to go through it, step by step, and not only is, she's starring, directing, and choreographing, all of it, but she's once again no stranger to that, so she got us all together and we went through it, and so yeah, we got it down, and then we try it with the music, which is like really fast, but it's, once again, we have one of those casts that they know what they're doing, and it just all came together. I remember we went through it last night and said, wow, this looks really good.
Most of us really remembered everything.
Yeah, really did.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Because it's one song and then it breaks into another song, but it's all technically just one big song, and so it's just dancing and dancing and more dancing. But it's great, but as far as I know, that's the only big dance number in it. Everything else is really big on the music. We, once again, back in the fall and winter areas, we just had nothing but just straight on just music rehearsals to get those songs down, because
Sondheim is not an easy, I don't know if Sondheim loves singers or hates them. You could debate it both ways.
He might have been hurt by a singer a long time ago.
Music. Yes. Before we run out of time, I do want to make sure that we get dates out there. Our show opens Friday, May 15th. We run Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Sunday show is a 2 o'clock matinee. And then we run the following Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which will be the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of May. The 21st on Thursday is a 7 o'clock performance. The 22nd and 23rd are also 8 o'clock performances, and tickets are on sale. They're available at the Gaslight box office. You can call and leave a message, or go to the box office between 2 and 5 on Tuesdays through Fridays, or visit the Gaslight website. Gaslight website is a very easy link, and you can buy your tickets online. My goodness, I don't buy tickets to hardly anything if it's not online anymore. I even do that with the movies and things, so that makes it really easy for anyone to get a ticket. The show is appropriate for anyone, but there are some topics that we would want to, maybe mature audiences. There's nothing overtly vulgar or sexual in it, but if I think it would be understood better by mature teenagers and adults. Certainly adults will know. Don't you think adults will know every character in that play?
I think so.
I mean, somewhat. These people may live in New York, but you can say, oh yeah, that's like Aunt so-and-so, or that's like my friend at work, or we have each of these different personalities. There's just a way to connect. I think everyone can connect with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I feel this is one of the most honest plays I've ever been a part of as far as the script goes, because it's something everyone can relate to and take away from. It's great.
Yeah. Their strengths, their weaknesses, their confusions, and their concerns and things. It's really been an interesting journey to get deeper into the show. I've always loved the music, but I think what goes unappreciated with company maybe is the script itself.
Absolutely.
You hear so much of Sondheim and his music, and it's famous and it's popular and it's wonderful, but the script is pretty priceless.
It is
as well.
Very strong.
It's a vignette type thing where we see each couple actually as Bobby visits with each couple in their own particular setting. So through that, just to see his journey to decide what he wants to do with his life by looking at what everyone else has chosen to do with theirs. It's just so relatable.
Absolutely.
Really is. goodness, I've drawn a blank here. I had a thought cross my head, and it's just, that's the way it is right now. Can you think of anything else that's been unique or unusual with this production? Besides the fact that it is a musical and you haven't done a musical down there.
Well, just the character itself, I feel being a part of Gaslight, I've seemed to kind of be, for anyone who's might have seen performances I've done before, I've kind of been typecast as kind of the over-the-top, kind of mentally insane kind of character. And so once again, this has just been a great experience to, you know, draw back and apply myself into it. And
I think we could say of many people in the cast that if there are, you know, I hesitate to use the word fans, but I know there are people who are fans of yours. For instance, they like to see you. I think a lot of people will be surprised by the breadth of a lot of the characters, because there are many people in the cast that are playing maybe a little bit different than maybe what someone's seen them in before. Certainly you are. So, and you're doing a wonderful job with it. I cannot encourage you enough to come out and see Company. It opens the 15th of May through the 23rd. And again, I'm Janet Jones. This is Daniel Johnson. We are just looking forward to seeing you in the seats at Gaslight Theatre.
Well, I have Vance Cashwell now joining me, and Vance has done our run for several years. How many medals do you have?
I believe I have 6 medals with me.
6 medals with you, and you have gotten those at the Buzz Run at the Enid High School track, and then also at the Fun Run that we do at the Great Land Run. And today we're talking again about the Buzz Run, the BFit Kids Buzz Run at the high school track. Vance, why have you done it for so many years?
Because I think it is fun and exercising.
Yes, you like to exercise, don't you?
It's really nice too, and the results and everything.
Now, do you see your friends when you're at the BFit Kids Buzz Run?
Actually, yes, I do.
Good, and you get together with them in the infield after the race?
Yes, I do.
Good, good. Now, Vance, you have been doing the BFit Kids runs for quite a few years, and our program is for young kids up to 12 years old. You are now in 6th grade, so you're older. Instead of doing the run this year, what are you going to do?
I'm probably going to help out and cheer my friends on.
That sounds great. And are you going to be one of my helpers that volunteers and helps line up the kids so they can get to their heat and be ready to run?
Hopefully.
Very good. I'll get a sign ready for you to do that. Now, and I also have Willa Cummings with me today. She was telling me earlier the reason she likes to do the Buzz Run is because she gets the medal after she crosses the finish line, and then she gets to go to the infield and get her face painted. So we're looking forward to Willa doing that again this year. And Emma, you told me you like to run with your friends. I've seen Emma there with lots and lots of friends running in her heat, and everybody's a winner. We have someone who's always calling the race, and it almost sounds, Frank Baker has done it every year, and it almost sounds like the Kentucky Derby. You know, talking about, oh, there's a little one running in pearls. Look at that one with the pigtails. So it's always fun. The parents line up on the side of the track and cheer them on. And you've had grandparents there. Vance, you've had your grandparents there.
Yes, I have.
And they've helped to volunteer. Now, anyone who's wanting to volunteer and help be there to help us line up the kids and get them ready to race, they are welcome to call the CDSA office, because BFit Kids is a program of CDSA, and it's for our younger kids so we can add fitness and health into their lives. And the Buzz Run, which is coming up May 9th, that's going to be the Saturday of Mother's Day weekend. May 9th will be at the high school track, and it is only $10 to register, and $10 includes your t-shirt, it includes your medals, your runner's number, and then the fun that happens in the infield after the race. So watch for these yellow flyers that are coming home in backpacks. They'll be coming home in your backpacks, and you can fill this out, drop it off at the CDSA office. Like I said, it's only $10 for a whole morning of fun. Plus, if you'd rather, you can go online to getmeregistered.com and register online. Now, we do have packet pickup, and that's early, and I know you guys always come to packet pickup because that'll be Thursday, May 7th at the CDSA office from 5:30 to 7. And the benefit to the packet pickup is you get your t-shirt early, you'll get your runner's number so you can pin it on, and when you come to the race, you will be all ready to race and you won't have to worry. Now, we also do walk-up registrations. We ask that you're there at 9:30 when the gates open on Saturday morning. You must have an adult to sign for you, to sign the waiver, and then our races start right at 10 o'clock. So Vance, tell me one reason that you think a young kid should come and do the Be Fit Kids Buzz Run on May 9th.
Well, the reason that I think that kids should do it is because it's fun and it gets your adrenaline pumping.
Get your adrenaline pumping. We like that. That's perfect, Vance. Well, thank you to all my guests today. There was Emma Abbey, Vance Cashwell, Emma and Willa Cummings, and there's some of our Be Fit kids.
Hello, and welcome back to Community Talk. I'm Julie Baird, Executive Director at Leonardo's Children's Museum. And joining me in the studio today is Tracy Biddle. Tracy, welcome.
Thank you.
I know you wear a bunch of hats at Leonardo's, Associate Director, Volunteer Coordinator, currently Marketing Coordinator.
Yes.
So
it's never a dull moment.
Thank you for all that you do. Well, it's April, and so it's time to start thinking about the summer.
Yes.
And of course, summertime at Leonardo's is very, very busy in the museum at Adventure Quest, but we also have something called Camp Leonardo Summer Camp. Why don't you tell us about that for this year?
Okay. I'm very excited about it. It'll be my second camp. And it's always real interesting for me. I love to be a part of it because my children grew up at Leonardo's summer camp.
I remember
and
them.
Now I get to be the one to help coordinate that and put that on for the next generation of children. And so it's part of our programming. And this year we are going to do 9 weeks of summer camp. Occasionally we will take a break and do 4 weeks and then have a break in between and then do another 4 weeks. And this year we're just going to go straight through. And so there's 9 weeks in a row and the topics are just a lot of fun.
So this year we're doing our usual 6 weeks of art, but instead of just 2 weeks of science, we get to do 3.
3, yes.
And so why don't you tell us what those topics are, because they really are fun.
Well, we have chosen a recycle theme for the entire summer, and we're calling it Recycled Riches.
That's very popular now.
Yes, and I just think it is. It's very timely, and I think for the group of kids, they're always, it seems like our guests are so good at thinking conscientiously about our world. And so this supports that. We will be using all the recycled materials that we possibly can, and then each week will have a different theme. We're going to start off with a science, and so June 1st through 5th is going to be a science week, and it's going to be called Invention Convention. So the teachers are really having fun with it. It's going to be all about creating things, and the kids always surprise us with something really creative.
My grandson cannot wait. He came to spring break art camp, and he likes art camp. He said, but Grandma, you know, I'm really more of a scientist.
Yes.
He's 6, but he knows he's a scientist.
That's all right. That's all right. He may be able to change the world for the better.
I hope so.
Okay, and then the next week will be June 8th through 12th, and that will be focused on art again, or that will be our first art week, and it's going to be called It's a Jungle Out There. So we're going to have themes that are tropical, and we're going to study the animals and the artwork and everything that would be around a jungle, so very different.
Yes.
On June 15th through 19th, that's another art week, and then it's back home. For me, it's the Wild Wild West week. And we've had a lot of interest in those from some of my friends because that theme of Western life and Oklahoma life, it will be focused on, but of course we'll be doing all kinds of creative art. The next week is June 22nd through June 26th, and that is an art week, and it's called It's a Wonderful, Wonderful World, and we're going to study nature. So
Cool.
a lot of flexibility there. Our teachers are so creative. The things they're coming up with are fantastic. And then right in the middle of the summer, which will be kind of a holiday week, I think, too, June 29th through July 3rd will be Science Week, and it's going to be Shark Week.
That's had the biggest interest so far.
It really has. So it ought to be fun. And the Sharknado, you know, that happened the trend that happened last year, it's funny the things everybody comes in. Boy, the kids are jumping on Shark Week. But then we'll continue on into July. After the 4th of July holiday, we'll start with July 6th through 10, which is going to be an art theme. It's going to be called The Amazing Race. And we're going to study transportation. So I think that'll be really creative.
Really?
A lot of variety from week to week. July 13 through 17 is art again. It's going to be futuristic fun. We had a futuristic theme for one of the days of spring break, and I didn't think a lot about it going into it, but I saw some of the neatest things that day.
Yes.
So futuristic art was really fun. On July 20th through 24th, we'll be doing art. It's going to be wearables and weavings.
And you know, the students love
They
weavings.
really, really do.
And just taking like an old shirt or whatever and making it something new.
Yes.
It will be so fun.
They love to basket weave. Last year we had someone that used t-shirt materials and wove kind of a small area rug, and the kids were so proud of it. It was really neat.
So lots of possibilities
Yes.
that week
Yes.
too.
And again, that's July 20th through 24th. And then we're going to cap up our summer on July 27th through 31st. It's going to be Science Week. It's going to be crazy because there is no theme.
No theme week. I love that. We actually stole that from another children's
we?
museum.
That's all right. It's gonna be really
It's
neat.
in another state. So, but I think it just gives our creative teachers and our creative students even more possibilities.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's fun to end 9 weeks of camp with a really fun theme.
Yes.
So I think they'll like that.
I think the themes vary a lot from week to week, so there'll be lots of variety for the kids. And then being able to mix in the science and being able to add a little bit more science, I think are going to be really good features in
I
the
think
summer.
Science Weeks have been very, very popular. We probably should thank our sponsors here.
Yes.
The Art Weeks are underwritten by grant, as you know, from the Oklahoma Arts Council and the National Endowment for the Arts. But we also have some local sponsors. City of Enid provides scholarships for low-income students. Messer Bowers and Park Avenue Thrift are our local sponsors, and they really make it possible for us to keep the costs down.
Yes.
The cost of art supplies and all supplies have gone up tremendously in the last few years, but I think this is our 6th year that the prices have stayed the same.
And we do not charge a fee for supplies, anything
No,
like
it
that.
includes everything.
I'm often asked that by a parent, okay, well, how much does it cost for me to buy the art supplies?
That's
Your children
included
are
in
going to have an
tuition.
abundance of art supplies, and that
Yes.
is all included
Yes.
in enrollment.
And we talk about the price.
Yes.
And I know we have different prices for members and non-members, so it's a great time to purchase a family membership. But there are other discounts available too, aren't there?
Right. If you are a member of Leonardo's Children's Museum, you are able to attend all of our programs with a great, usually a greatly discounted fee, especially with our generous sponsors helping. Now, you do not have to be a member, though, to enroll in our programs, and so there's a fee rate for each. For a non-member, it's $165 to attend all day, all week. As compared to if you were a member of Leonardo's, it would be $150 to attend all day, all week. And you and I were discussing one day that really a membership will almost pay for itself with the discount that you're going to get
for
if you
one child
attend
to
all
go
week.
all 9 weeks.
Right.
The membership discount would pay for it. I know in summer camp that they can it's different from spring break camp. They can't just pick a day here and there. They enroll for the whole week, for mornings, afternoons, or all day.
Right.
But aren't there some other discounts too?
Exactly. You can enroll in half days, and that decreases the cost. You can choose afternoons or mornings, depending on what your family's doing that week, or maybe when your child is best to have out doing an activity like that. If you enroll early, there's a great discount. If you can get enrolled by the end of this month, you'll get the most substantial discount. Also, if you go ahead and enroll all, which is 20%.
It's 20% for the early enrollment discount by the end of April for whatever you choose, mornings, afternoons, or all day, as many weeks as you want.
Right.
But if you choose
enroll all for the entire
9,
summer, then that gets you another substantial discount as well.
25% instead of 20. We've had people ask us, is it 20 plus 25? No, it's an either or.
We have to be very specific about that.
And then also, isn't there a discount for multiple children?
Yes, and that helps a lot. You could come in and say you enroll your older child, and the younger child you think is old enough and really interested in attending, well, you get 10% off that next child's enrollment. And so, you know, as a parent, it seems like a lot, finding good, healthy, creative activities that are good for your kids in the summer. I know the key to my summertime was keeping my children stimulated and busy, keeps them out of trouble. This is a great opportunity. And then if you do get your paperwork in ahead of time, enroll the children, pay at all in one lump sum if you can take advantage of great discounts.
So if our viewers have questions, of course, give us a call at the museum, 233-ARTS or 233-2787. But I know we've spent a lot of our time talking about camp, but there are other people besides students that we need for camp.
Yes, thank you so much for getting me to that. I get so excited about camp. I am volunteer coordinator as well at Leonardo's, and my most special, I just have the most fun working with our apprentice volunteers. This is where we take young people ages 12 to 15, and they work with me pretty intensely through the summer. And it's it's a work-study program. They learn about what it's going to be like to have a job. We do weekly little training seminars. We have meals together. They learn about the responsibilities of having a job, as well as get to partake in a lot of the fun going on at the camp. So I need apprentices volunteering to help with summer camp, so please contact me.
And they don't have to work all summer.
No.
They pick their weeks.
Sure.
We ask them to give us at least 2 weeks. They can do mornings, afternoons, or all day, kind of just like the campers.
Exactly. Very flexible schedule.
And, you know, so if they're going to band camp or church camp or whatever, then they just sign up for the weeks they want to work. And they're just such an invaluable part of our camp success.
I don't think camp could go on without
I don't either. They help out in the classrooms.
I think they're a key, and the amazing teachers that we have.
Oh, absolutely. So talk about the teachers.
We use our great opportunity for certified teachers in our area to maybe get a little bit of summer cash, have a lot of fun. You can teach different time settings, whatever tends to work with for your summer. But we really want to send a call out to all of you teachers in the area, Enid and surrounding area. Please feel free to look into our summer camp program. You can teach half a day, or
no, they don't teach all day. They do mornings or afternoons.
Yes, and so you still have half of your day to
you get
paid.
To
enjoy.
You
and
get
the
paid.
pay for the teachers, thanks to the Arts Council, is a great fee. We do talk to some non-certified teachers. However, the preferred certified teachers, it's a great income.
It is, and they get to do some things that they often don't have time to do in the regular classroom, certainly with the art, but even some of the fun aspects of science. And so we look for, of course, our students are ages 4 through 12, so we need early childhood educators, and we need those that prefer the older students. We love certified art teachers if we could get them, but it's been years since we've had a non non-certified teacher in camp. It's usually certified educators, so we hope they'll call us about that.
Yes. Teachers, apprentices, and campers were ready to go at Leonardo's.
Yes. And we'll have some talk next month about other things going on this summer. We will have a mandatory teachers meeting May 7th. Applications for both teachers and apprentices
are
online,
website.
leonardos.org. Camp enrollment forms are online. So check out our website, give us a call. And I know we're running out of time, Tracy. We're not going to even get to talk about the other things we were going to talk
okay,
about.
well, we're just going to have to come back. Hopefully they'll have us.
They'll have us back next month. So thank you for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time on Community Talk.